What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dante here from the Digimon Laboratory, back at it again with another market watch. Now, this one might be a tad bit longer than the last one because we're going to look at a lot of cards, especially going into our first ever NA Nationals. Um, you know, as usual, go ahead and like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. We're going to go ahead and see if we can reach probably 100K by the beginning of this summer. That's my goal for. I mean, 100 subs by the end of the summer. That's my goal for right now. Of course, we gotta keep on pushing the channel. Um, and please, every Monday, we go ahead and do Digimon podcast with, a good friend of mine, Primitive TCG. Right now, he's getting ready for NA Nationals. Shouts out to Primitive. Hope he does well. Really do hope he does well. So let's get into the market watch and let's start off with the flagship of the channel, the almighty Alphamon, down to probably its lowest point I've ever seen it at $13 here. You have a few copies down here at $13. You have, one at 14. So a lot of people are really overlooking the Alphamon. I took a little sneak peek at the Alphamon alternate art. It's up a little bit, a couple of dollars. It's still hovering around 32, 33. This being a secret, if this deck gets rolling, people gonna be just trying to climb onto this. This will probably go back up to 20. Don't see it going any further than that. If you want to play Alphamon, this is probably the time to get this. Secrets really don't tend to stay this low unless they're highly irrelevant. For this to have a archetype focused around it specifically in the S antibody category, and then have another set in the future, BT9, that's S antibody related, yeah, just grab it before it goes up. That's all I'm saying. Grab it before it goes up. That's it. Omnimon. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody with deep pockets went buying. So the one or two copies that we had that was obviously 679 and 600. Somebody was like, I'm just buying them. Somebody went ahead and bought them. You got now this copy. You got this copy right here for 900. This thing is gonna be a bidding war. I told you this is probably the right time to get it when it's somewhere between, $500 to $600, $650. I said I like it takes somebody with deep pockets to buy out the rest of them to spike this price up. Maybe make a $300-$400 profit off of it. As you can see, somebody is doing it. Outside this 900, you got one for 1,000. You got one for 2,000. It is tax season. A lot of people are going to probably be looking for cars they want, but as you can see, there's not multiples of somebody having them. So it's a bunch of one-up, but these are pretty high reputable sources and sellers that you can easily get this off of. Get them with tracking. Make sure it's one of those things to where, I'm not trying to, bash on anybody trying to make a quick sale, trying to do their thing. As long as you see this 1%, as long as I see this 100%, over 100 sales, 200 sales, I can go ahead and see, buying from that person. But always do your research into the seller before you make that sale, because you don't want to get scammed out of it. Seen it happen to me times. It hasn't happened to me personally on TCG Player. Mine was more of an eBay type of thing, but that was like several years ago. But yeah, this thing is back up to 900 to 1,000. It's a collector card. I mean, it's going to fluctuate. Somebody's going to try to undercut. It's going to happen. Monsoor. So Monsoor seems to be stabilizing around 57, 58 here. And then you see 60s. This is a card that until BT9, we might not see anything that hits tamers like it does. I believe I have to go back and look, but I believe in BT9 we have a few Digimon that actually hits tamers, and a few cards that actually do, because it will be tamer heavy come BT7 going forward. If you didn't pick yours up at 50, 55, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to stay around 60. Uh, this card was in the security control list in the Latin American finals match. It unfortunately lost to Live Loop, which Live Loop with, Mega Digimon Fusion is too strong right now. But it's one of those things to where this card is going to stay relevant. And if you see security control, you will see this card, period. Point blank simple. On the Monsoor 3 alternate art, going up to 70. You see a 70 listing here, 70 listing here, 72 here. Yeah, it's a $72 card now, ladies and gentlemen. I think one of my first market watches on this card, it was around 55, maybe 58. I thought it was a good price for it. 72 now, ooh, pretty steep. Like, just imagine, if you bought a playset then and a playset now, you would have easily been able to, buy this card cheaper. That's such a cheap price that it would have probably paid for an entire one itself. So, if you're playing black and purple, you're playing this card. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're playing this card. Bialstar alternate art. So, as you can see right now, Bialstar alternate art, you got one listing that's 65, 66. But you see right here, it's the 67, 68. It's around a $7 card for alternate art. A lot of people saw the European list. A lot of people saw the Latin American list. That a lot of security control players are opting to play the Bialstar Mon engine rather than just a pure, let me throw all kinds of cards up in. Like, it makes it to where you still have a body on board outside of, the Zord defeat, outside of maybe the obligatory level 6 that you have with a Seraphimon or Sakuramon, whatever it may be. So it gives you a nice body on board. You can play this card from your hand, reduce the cost of it for every option card with 7 it cost cents trash. It especially later on to the game, it really does help getting that big giant body on board. And then if you do draw a Omnimon defeat, you can then Digivolve on top of this. So it gives you a way to Digivolve and use the on Digivolve effect of defeat. So very good tech, very good direction for security control to be going. I think it's good. In my opinion, this card warrants this. It is a secret alternate art. It is highly relevant in the meta. We're going to have to see what security control is going to be BT7, because BT7 is a very, very aggressive type of meta with tamer heavy decks, aggressive style decks, even the controlly mid-range type of decks like X Antibody is going to be able to control, oppress, and then turn 4 or 5 hit you for about 3, 4, 5 checks. So we'll have to see how security control is going to shape up, especially with the likes of immersive program shut down running around here. People splashing in Analog Boy for the white tamer and just about every deck because it's actually very versatile. Things like that. Diabolo Monolith, whichever one you want to call it. This thing is now back up to its good old $68 to $70 mark. We saw the Diabolo Monolith that topped the EU Nationals. And because of an unfortunate circumstance of his camera freezing for too long, he had to be DQ'd. He actually had a easy top 4 finish if that mishap didn't happen. You know, I can't say that's neither here nor there, but the power of the Diabolo deck is, I mean, with EX01 Diabolo, it's pretty scary. Being able to have everything get blocker and then being able to drop this one to give everything +1 security once you grind your opponent down. Yeah, it's extremely terrifying. Being able to swing in and end the game with 3 or 4 attacks rather than, having to do 6, 7 attacks, 5 with, 1 or 2 blockers here or there. That's pretty scary. Again, that's pretty scary to go up against for any deck that's not big black blockers. Yeah, this card is just going to stay up here, especially with the promos not being reran. This thing is going to probably go. I mean, if it does very, very well here, I wouldn't doubt this goes up to $80. Like, you can just see the market is just like, yeah, we see a plateau here around 75. It might be an $8 card depending on what happens this weekend, because this deck can compete to be the black deck, the black flagship deck, alongside the X antibody deck. Like, this deck can compete with it. We just gotta see if the consistent route that top EU nationals is the best route. We'll have to see. Only time can tell. It's going to take somebody with some good skill to master this deck and fine-tune it to where it can operate properly. Errata. And I aim for the box top errata. Right now, this thing is peaking at about $12 to $13. You see right here, it's one person trying to make a quick buck. Hey, yo, I give it to you for 12, undercut. This person's like, nah, 14. Use this person like, nah, 14, 15. Like, this card really shined in that match. And being able to, whenever you get a Diabolo, you can get a token as well. So I want to say it's on the first Diabolo that came out. When you play, you get a token. This gives you 2 tokens. And yet, they're, they're 14 cost, 3,000 DP. But imagine just having 10 tokens on board and users blocking with the tokens and constantly dropping Diabolo mines. Then you drop an Armageddon mine and say, they can't be deleted at all. Yeah, this card really generates so much advantage. And of course, Diabolo mine is a slower, grindy deck. But with the EX01 Diabolo mine, being able to get everything blocker, being able to give everything +1 security with the promo, there's nothing really more to say. So, I think it's warranted. It'll probably go down to about $10 if the Diabolo deck doesn't do anything. But if it does, don't be surprised if this box type becomes $15, because it's the highest rarity. Livmon, alternate art. We actually see Livmon actually dropping in price here a little bit. A couple people undercutting the Livmons, trying to, the Livmon hype. They're trying to get rid of Livmons here. I did peek in on the regular art Livmon. Only went up a few bucks, nothing crazy. I think like $2, $3. This Livmon depends. If this Livmon top 8, top 4 our nationals here in the NA, don't expect this card to be any lower than 40. Don't expect this card to go down at all. People are going to be clamoring for this card. And I do mean the alternate art. The regular art, I think, is around $30 right now, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, I do everything on the spot, ladies and gentlemen. I can't spell right now. I think that's right. Lilith. And where you that's the alternate art. Regular Livmon. We are at, oh no. Sorry, I don't know what I was looking at. I must look at the alternate art. So it is up past $20. This was before this was tanking a hard amount. And a lot of people jumped off this bandwagon because of MDF getting banned and whatnot. So you see everybody's like, yeah, I'm just throw my Live Mons away for like $20, $23. Um, if this actually does very well, this could be a $25 card. The alternate art is stay around 40 if it does very well. Somebody's gonna make it, bust it. We know there's good support coming out in the next set forward. I'm working on a deck myself, and I haven't forgot about the blue purple Ogremon OTK deck. I'm still working on that right now. Just have to get the last few cards, and I can go ahead and post the deck. But yeah, Livemon is just a good deck. I mean, it's a good card. Like, yeah, in a good deck. Don't get me wrong. But I think a lot of people here in NA are going to be looking at it, and especially with it winning Latin American Nationals, is now on the radar of everybody. So if your deck can play the memory gaining blocking Digimon like green, blue, yellow, and I believe green, blue, yellow, purple. If you're playing those decks and you go against Livemon, you want to prioritize putting 2 of those on board. Because the Genkakumon promo package can just get rid of it. And there's nothing more that you can do about it. So keep Livemon on your radar. This is going to be one of my cards I'm going to keep on my radar. Let's see how it is this weekend. Machine Dramon alternate art. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember when I told you do not buy this card at $150? If you did, I feel sorry for you. This thing dipped about a good 70% from where it was. Now, being a secret alternate art and actually being a very good deck, I actually, in my initial reaction video to EX01, I said if it digivolved, it would have been better. But after looking at it, after going over it with one only Machine Dramon players I know, Romero, at my local, shouts out to Romero, going back and forth, actually playtesting against it, the deck can go. Like, the deck, it doesn't matter. Like, turn 2, he drops the Machine Dramon. He has, 5 Digivolution sources. It's hard to kill this thing. This thing can get blocker, reboot, piercing, +1 security, plus 2,000 DP. This thing can get evil. And that's just one of them. Does not include anything else that he places on the board. Yes, this is like a protect the castle type of deck, to where you really depend on 1 or 2 Digimon to really carry you. But if you have something that, this thing can't have its DP reduced. This thing, if it's deleted, just get rid of 2 Digivolution sources from underneath it, and can do that more than once a turn. So it can do that twice, at least. So you gotta kill this thing 3 times in order for you to even get off the board. Yeah, it's an interesting deck. Do I think this Machine Dramon is going to go up? If it tops, I can see it being a $45, $50 card. Right now, you see a couple of people here got it at $42, $43. Yeah, I can see this alternate art being around $45 to $50 if it does do very well. Like, it has to make like top 16, top 8 type of deck list, or type of standings in order for this thing to get real, because everybody's looking at, oh yeah, it was the obligatory top in EU, whatever, it was a flash in the pan. If we see this in NA, a lot of people are like, whoa, this is more than a flash. But it's the top 2 nationals. This is more than a flash in the pan. There's something about this deck, and it gets more support in Chaos Machine Dramon in the net set. Chaos, no, not the Chaos Machine Dramon, but Chaos Dramon in the net set. Yeah, be on the lookout for this thing to actually go up in price. Is $42.50 a good price? If it goes down to 40, sure. If it's this price is decently good because it is again, it's the secret other set that everybody clamoring for. It's the second highest all target set. First one is Analog Boy. If you want to pick it up, if you want to match rarity, There you go. I mean, will it go down? Depends on what it does this weekend. Will it go up? Depends on what it does this weekend. The market always is dictated by the meta. That's just how it goes at every TCG. AntMan, alternate art. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now below 40. Now, I said 40 was a good spot for this card. If you pay 60, 70, $8, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I even said that's not a good price for this card. Watch it. This card is now around 80, 38 to, not 80, but 38 to $40. This card is played in, Three Musketeers. If you want to, you can play it in Liv Mon deck because it gets Liv Mon back from the trash. So it's a decently good card. Like I said, the reason why this thing is so expensive, again, who's in the background? Be All-Star Mon. What's Be All-Star Mon? A waifu. Why is waifu so important when it comes to pricing? Waifu taxes. That happens. Every TCG. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Look at White Shorts. Look at Vanguard when it comes to the Oracle Think Tank decks and all of them. Just waifu tax is a thing. Look at Pokemon. I mean, Marnie Full Arts. Look at Cynthia's. Just look through history of TCGs. Waifu tax is a real thing. Just gonna have to get used to that. Ancient Greymon, regular art, sitting at 32. Greymon Tribal. That's what place is. Greymon Tribal. I've been hearing rumblings about some people after seeing the Ancient Garurumon deck actually top the EU Nationals. They're trying to do the same thing with Agumon and play a ancient hybrid as well, because they don't have to worry about possibly cutting stuff like Hammer Spark or things like that. Yes, you do not have an ice wall. Be careful with that, but you can hit about 5-6 security checks all in one turn with this type of deck. So just be wary of this. I've been on the record to put this as my dark horse to win our nationals. Do I still stand by that? Yes, I still stand by that. Do I think it's going to happen? Like I said, it's a dark horse. It's a long shot. Who knows? It's a prediction. I still think Gobblebond is probably the best deck. I think Gobblebond's going to take our nationals. Probably so. What deck might take out Gobblebond? That I don't know. It depends. The one deck I'd be surprised that actually wins be Jesmon, unless Jesmon just high rolls every Gobblebond matchup and avoids as many Gobblebond matchups as possible. Yeah, I really do think this variant is going to last a lot longer, especially with the upcoming hit to Saber Hawkmon. This variant is going to last a lot longer than the Jesmon variant. So if you're a Jesmon player, I would say start looking into this. I even pulled up the alternate art to give you options. 32 in the regular art, 36 on the alternate art for this seller, 40, 40, 40. So if you want a little more bang for your buck when it comes to saving your cash for the future, I say pick up your alternate arts now. I say if you want to test play and see how it is, borrow a couple of your friends, ancient Greymon, regular arts, see how it goes. If you like the style, the play style of it, I would say go ahead and bling your deck out if you want to. If you want to just pick up the regular arts, go ahead. Anywhere it goes, the alternate art is about $8 short. It's about $8 higher than the regular art. So my opinion is more value to get the alternate art if you're going to hold on to it. But I mean, hey, to each his own right there. Imperial Juman alternate art is stabilized, ladies and gentlemen. It's at 28, 29, 30. Last time we covered this card, I believe it was around 26. everybody's on this deck. I've been telling people, if you want to play blue, you need to pick up Imperial Juman's ASAP. I even messaged one of my friends in my group chat and said, hey, I know you want to play Imperial Juman. You better pick up the Altanars now when the Altanars are like $12, $13. He said, oh, I do it later. Now look at it. They're 30s. And I was like, yeah, I probably should have picked them up. So, so let's go back to Diabolo Monolith deck. When, BT7 comes around with the Jorgus, you're going to play some number of all three. You're going to play some number of the EXO one. I think you're going to play with one of those. You're gonna play probably two of these and probably 3 to 4 of the Jorgus ones. And your only level 7 is either going to be Blitz Omnimon, probably a one of, or it's going to be some other, obligatory level 7 that you can Digivolve on top of. But yeah, man, people's going to be sleeping on this deck. They're already sleeping on it now. Jamming is too good of a skill to have not to be abused. Period. Shine Greymon alternate art is at $20. I don't know if the Shine Greymon hype died hard, because the last time I covered this card, it was $30. Last time I covered this card, it was $30. Like, you can see around this time, it was $30 the last time we covered this card. This card has taken a hard dip down. And it's not just, people trying to get rid of the card. You see it right here. People left and right. People are like, I don't think Shine's the right way to go. I might want to try Yellow Security Control when it comes out. If you don't know what that is, please go back and check the BT7 review video. I believe it's episode 6 that me and Primitive did live, and we went through the whole entire BT7's list. Yellow Security Control is going to be a thing coming up. Do they have reactive? They have aggressive options with the Postmon lineup, with the Raijinmon lineup. They have an aggressive option, but they also now have a control option with the Sulfurmons and the Zephyrmons and the Zoes. I think people are seeing that Shine maybe a little bit too slow and is more of a support Digimon rather than a main Digimon. What I mean by that is you take in 1 or 2 in the deck rather than it being the focal point of the deck. We might see Sakurumon be more the focal point. Who knows? Security Control is going to shift more towards a pure yellow and maybe take in some red or take in some black. But you're going to see a lot of Yellow Security Control running around at the net set. If you want to play Shine Greymon, this is probably the best time to pick up these alternate arts. Really, like, for it to be $20 and people was hyping this deck up, I mean, this seems like the best time. I'm not a Shine Greymon player. I'm not even a Yellow player. I don't know really what Yellow really does outside DP reduction and recovery security. It's just not my niche. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Now, Alta S got a little bump up in price here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, from last time I was looking at this, Alta S went down as low as 17. Then it spiked back up. And as you can see, people are sitting here and buying at 25s. I was looking through it. This thing was $17. I wanted to cover it a couple of market watches ago, but I was like, nah, let's see if it really tanks down to a certain point, or it's just people overlooking this card. I've been really high about this towards my community and towards my friends. I thought Alta S was probably the best level 7 for a black. Outside of Defeat, of course. Defeat is just too crazy. I put this up higher. I put it up higher than on Monsoor, but This card really shined when it came to the D Brigade deck. I believe that top 16 EU. Being able to Digivolve, draw you a card, Digivolve everything by one, and then delete anything that's 5k or less. Which means if it's an ultimate and it has that pesky one Digivolve, one cost Digivolution blocker, that blocker's gone. If it's a rookie, all the rookies are gone. Half the champions are gone. So being able to set your opponent back across the board actually freaking helps. And then when you attack with it, you then bounce back the Dark Juman underneath it to make it unblockable. Now Dark Juman's back in your hand. If you have five or more, five or more D Brigades, you drop it for 3. Dark Juman gets rush, whole entire 9. This card is 20. If this card right here won't sell is at 20, sure. 21 with shipping, sure. But you see, 25s. This thing, I saw this thing as low as 17. And I wanted to make a video about it. Didn't really want. I was like, nah, let me see. If it goes down to 15 below, I'm probably say, grab this now. Obviously, you see 25s now, ladies and gentlemen, and right now, right now it's at its lowest. And I didn't even check the alternate art. Save the alternate art for another video. Wait. No. The other AntMan, set 1 AntMan has an alternate art. I don't believe Zort's has an alternate art. I have to go back and look at that. I got too many cards in my head right now. But I have to go back and look at that. But yeah, $25 right here off the bat. One top made it $25. Very, very good. Very, very good. Davis. Somebody's trying to undercut. One Davis at 11. One Davis at 13. Another one at 13. 14. This is just until Davis gets reprinted. And here's my theory. Market watch theory. I believe they're going to give Davis the same treatment in EX02. No, wait. BT8. There you go. BT8. Where it's hyper focused on season 2 of Digimon, where Davis and TK and Kari and Armor Digivolutions and DNA Digivolving, like that's the BT8 is hyper focused on that season. Don't be surprised if Davis gets a alternate art box topper or even a reprint in the promo pack, just like how we got all the tamers and their Digimons in the little promo booster pack that comes in every box. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if this Davis gets reprinted specifically in a different art in that set as some kind of promo or whatever it may be. Bandai has their eye on this card. They know this card hasn't been reprinted. They know it, and they have plans for this card. That's my theory. Davis is going to be around $14 to $15 for the next 6 months. And then we'll see what happens in BT8 when it comes to the tournament entry packs, when it comes to the box toppers, who's going to be on the box topper, when it comes to all those things. Don't sleep on it. He might even get reprinted in the structure deck for all we know, because we don't have the TCG version of the Jorgen structure deck just yet. So we don't know. So we'll see. On Monsoor. Monsoor was in the Live Mon Loop deck that actually won the Latin American Nationals. As you can see, Monsoor went up. I saw this at $10 at one point in time. It was atrocious. I was like, ooh, $10, okay. It being an SR, I didn't think too much of it. So that's why I didn't cover it. But you got 14 to 15s all across the board. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Is it worth this amount? Right now, it is. With Mega Digimon Fusion, it is. With Mega Digimon Fusion being banned, you know, at the end of this month, you're gonna have to think. Now, is it worth it for me to play this card for a 6, knowing that it's most likely going to end my turn? Or you're going to have to accommodate this card by playing and blowing all your memory games, then playing this card, and then trying to continue to loop. So, I don't know. My opinion, it'll probably see another dip down to 10, my opinion. So, if you really want to pick it up now for Nationals, you don't have a choice. If you want to wait and play Alphamon down the line, wait on this card. I'd rather for you to pick up Zord Defeats than this, because Zord Defeats are going to be in everything purple and everything black. So yeah, this is an iffy card. Yes, it's good. Don't get me wrong. This thing's good. I even play it. But it's one of the things that without Mega Digimon Fusion, is this necessarily worth the price? Because would this be another $4 or $5 super rare in the next month? It could be. We just have to see what it does. But when Mega Digimon Fusion starts to go bye-bye towards the end of this month, you might see this card start to teeter off and drop, because this is the catalyst for MDF right here. This is one of the catalysts for MDF. Of course, the Zanomon, without being said, but this is one of the catalysts right now that makes MDF so good, because this comes out for free. Alphamon. I believe this is the first time I've ever put any Digimon egg on Market Watch. Alphamon is seeing a $6 price point. I know this thing has always been around $4 to $5. I think the lowest I've seen it was like two and a half when it first came out. A lot of people was overlooking it. They didn't really care too much for it. And then as time progressed and people started being bolder with their plays and more strategies started becoming, developed with newer cards coming out, Alphamon is starting to see a lot of shine when it comes into blue decks. Now, of course, if you play like an all-force deck, you probably play the one Alphamon, and you'll play the unsuspended, Vmon, or you'll play, a 3-2 split. But Alphamon's one of them blue staple Digi-Eggs that every blue deck plays. If you play one of it, that means you're playing for the other card because it goes with the deck and it goes with the archetype. If you're playing, 3 Alphamon, that's because Alphamon is a better option than the other Digi-Egg that you have. And you don't want to max out Alphamon because later on in the game, most likely they may not have a Digimon that doesn't have security, that doesn't have Digivolution sources. So it's a hit or miss, but it is one of the better eggs in my opinion. Easily top 3. Just off the top of my head, I know this one's good. I have to give it to Pseudomon for purple. Maybe I can't remember the black one off the top of my head. It's a Kapurimon, I think it is, to where if the Digimon's deleted, that's on top of it. Revealed top card is a black Digimon add to hand. So it is one of them top 3. It really is. You can say, but this goes better with it. I get it. But just in general, in a vacuum, those are probably the top 3. Tai Kamiya V-Tamer. Why did I say this? Because this V-Tamer, as far as I had saw it, was never more than like $1.50, $2. Like, look at this. Look at this. I was like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be a $2 card. Ladies and gentlemen, this card is now a $5 to $6 card. I think a lot of people are looking at possibly playing all 4s, and being able to have this option with your Imperial Juman deck, or being able to play this deck now as a deck itself. This is a promo, by the way. I mean, I'm literally sitting on about 13 of these in my box. This is a promo that came out the first set. You got this, this and Vidramon. You got this Vidramon. You got the Garurumon, Garurumon. You got the Agumon and the Greymon. And I believe it was, I could be mistaken, but I believe it was two more that I can't remember off the top of my head. But those were the 6 or 8 that came in the first set that when you bought a box, you ripped it open and it was like, oh, here's the pair. This is one of them pairs. This card is good, especially if you're teching in all Force Vidramon, Aerial Vidramon, normal Vidramon in any deck. Being able to suspend this, draw a card, or gain 1k DP is not bad at all. There might be some other decks that I'm not looking at, but I will have to actually do some digging. But this card is not a $5 card. So my little penny stonker today. Here's a $5 card. If you do not plan on playing this, and somebody asks you for it, yeah, $5, $6 cash, throw into a trade. Or if you want to pick these up, think it might go up, get in, in a bit trade or something like that. I don't know. This is an iffy one. My opinion, it might go back down to 3.5. Just interesting to me. Might go back down to 3.5. You see somebody right here holding the line of 6. If somebody really wanted to, like this person really wanted to make, a quick buck, buy all these out, put it back here, you'll make a $1.50 profit. It's only a $10 or $13 profit. It's not worth it. So you're gonna see this thing stabilize around $5, $6. That's fine. You want to play Vidramon? You have to play this. If you want to play all Force Vidramon, you have to play this card. There's no ifs and buts about it. This card being a 2-cost tamer, and for it to be every time they hit the board and to draw or gain 1,000, that's too good. It's just way too good. Last card of the day. Believe it or not, this is actually my buyer's beware. Believe it or not. A lot of people's gonna be like, but Dante, it's analog, but Dante, it's analog youth. What do you mean? This is the best white tamer in a pause. Just hold on. Listen, hear me out. This card was $8 on release. Easily. As you can see, $80 on release. Bam. Right there. Everyone was like, oh, the gift box that came out. Analog was $80. Yeah. And this thing went down to 60. Is Analog Boy good? Yes, it's extremely good. Is it the best white tamer we have right now? Arguably. You got Nokia. I think Nokia is good in any Greymon or Agumon tribal type of deck. Being able to play a white Digimon and then being able to play the white tamer for, I believe she's a 4. Yeah. And be able to play a Gabumon or Agumon for free from your hand. Get you 2 cards for the price of 1. Being able to, Digivolve and reduce the Digivolution cost of it. If it Digivolves into, if it Digivolves up and stuff like that. I think Nokia is good in niche decks because it's also a white tamer that gives you access to emergency program shutdown or something like that. Like it gives you, or if you're playing like the obligatory all do, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to sit there and like, well, I want to try to throw in some white stuff because I want to play all delete, but I don't want to also depend on it. It's like, look, first of all, you're gonna need Zort or Zort Defeat or any Omnimon. So That all delete is for Omnimon. Period. That's all it is. But for white tamers, you also have Takuya. Not Takuya. I think it's Takomi. You have Takomi, which hinders all those those rookie wanna Russian type of decks, and because Rookie Rush right now it's not doing anything. Rookie Rush is just not doing anything. The meta's too big, too massive, too fast for Rookie Rush right now. Just right now. The close thing we got the Rookie Rush is D Brigade, and it's because D Brigade they all float. They all can be consistent. They have a big boss monster in the back that drops down for them. Stuff like that. Buyer beware. In-Law Boy is scaring me at this price. I believe this is going to go down to 40. Why do I say that? Because initially, when EX01 dropped, nobody opened the boxes. There was hardly any boxes open. Now that people see In-Law Boy everywhere, or In-Law Youth everywhere, and any deck that want to splash white, you just may see a lot more boxes open, which means you're going to see more quantities on the market, which means you're going to see more alternate arts. Even though the ratios are weird for the side sets, for like EX01, it doesn't follow the same ratio as the main sets. So this may be hard to pull, but just seeing, you got 3 people literally just right here at 60. They're like, you may see somebody just come in and say, yo, look, I'm sitting on 3 or 4 of these bad boys. I'm going to undercut everybody. I'm going to place it at 40. Then somebody's like, ooh, 40 is too low. I'm going to do 45. Somebody's like, nah, I'm going to do 50. Next thing you know, it brings the price down. Buyer beware on this one. My hot take. Be careful on this one. I wouldn't personally pay 60 at all. If somebody offered me 40 for it, I'd pick it up for 40. I would not pick this up for 60. We have new tamers coming out that just may put this tamer to straight shame. And it may make the other white tamers actually more viable than this tamer. Even though this is a good generic tamer. Yeah. Be careful with this one, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I gotta say. Be careful with this one. Now, tell me what you think. Comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to go ahead and get 100 subscribers before the beginning of the summer. And remember, be careful with your wallet. That's a life lesson. My name is Dante from the Digimon Laboratory, and I'll see you next video. Peace.